Wow. Holy shit. I just wanted to explore because the voices told me to do this. I was going out to feed the cats. Anyway, I wanted to explore those verbal moments, at least two or three that come to my mind. The one that came to my mind that, and then it, so I went because I was told to, so I did. Here I am. Bah. You're as sick as your deepest secret. The reality that it has nothing to do with the container, if the heart is hungry to learn, is really thirsting for the right way. There is no right way, but that moment, a way that will bring more stabilization and potentially a more kinder you, not selfish you, meaning me. Anyway, so I hated this fucking psychiatric nurse. I used to call her Nurse Ratchet. This isn't built like Nurse Ratchet, just short. I don't want to get into that. I hated her fucking guts. It's maybe the third time she's there with the lectures. And this cunt in my mind says these words. She had to say them before. I wasn't listening. But I was listening. I didn't listen to anything else. I was so disgusted. But all of a sudden, like, poof. And I'm back listening to her on to whatever her new point was. I wasn't listening. There was noise in the background. But in that bubble of inspiration, wow, you're as sick as your deepest secret. I mean, I was I have so much time, and I do like to do simple math or something. I can't do anything beyond it, but I like doing it. It's like I know I'm 65, but I like playing with blocks. It's better than me going out and bashing in somebody's car windshield because I don't like them because voices have told me things. Better I play with blocks, right? So I realized I had done over 2,000 shows in my life. I mean, I was like astounded. A mix of stand up in New York, but they were open mics, but I was finally starting to go, I actually had an agent for 2 years, Lenny Bornstein. That's a funny story about his name, but I can't. It's not why I'm doing this, but it's funny. But anyway, and then Turner Frown around. Oh my God! A few years later, when I realized all these people in the nursing homes, I'm getting paid $135 a show. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I stayed hours later, and I just realized all these people are lonely. They have nobody. They're dying alone. They're in their pisses. And I started to turn a frown around after convincing the greatest therapist on the planet, Dr. Gregory Irvin, to really do, you know, he looked at me. He said, I want you to know I can lose my license. He looked at me. And then he said, this is worth losing my license for. Wow. He said, I'm not just doing this to help you. I really believe you're right on it. Wow. I revered Dr. Gregory anyway. Oh my God. Revere may be not the right. I did revere him, but that was mixed with the same reverence I had for my daddy or Elizabeth. This man was so loving. He never came with the fourth wall, even when he was just directly my therapist. He's so different. Never had one. Never had one like. Wow, I broke his heart when I went totally insane. I broke his heart. He spent so much time. Oh, God. Anyway. So, I was doing a lot of shows. I did, and I realized I'd done over 2,000 shows in nursing homes, psych wards. It's just bizarre. I've been flown to. I've done shows. I had a tour in the Netherlands. That's ridiculous. Interpreters. Bizarre. I'm gonna start crying again because it doesn't matter. It's when I was in Anne Frank's museum. Oh my God. I got lost in there. We were supposed to film afterwards. There was a film crew. I don't know how old I was in. A few people that, or whatever we were, this pocket of people, like looking like my mother. Well, no, she was so angry. They were worried. And then we were supposed to film. And I came out basically comatose. I remember I looked at the head, the director, whatever you call it, was running all this. I just said, I can't do this now, I'm sorry. I said, please leave me alone. And they did. Maybe we had to cancel something else. That was intense. Anyway. So, as I bounce around, have you ever had a hamster and you put him in a hamster ball? It's groovy. My daughter and my daughter would be the one, Daddy, don't push too hard. Because I'd forget, like, I'd get kind of like, oh, isn't that cool looking? Like, Daddy, don't forget the hamster. Oh, sorry, little guy. My daughter raised me. Is that bizarre? That's not poetic. That's Sam I Am movie with Sean Penn. She became a teacher of autistic children. Died of ovarian cancer. Wow. I was like, the hamster ball. That's what I am. I'm in this hamster ball of every emotion that's, it's charged 62 for the kids. You feel this today, that today. It's just like one. I'm just in it. And every step you go, there's a different emotion. Like, I didn't do that. Wow. Well, anyway, I'm going to end this happy and end it shorter. Everything I've been doing lately is on a half hour. Let's see if I keep to that. This will be my mini-series. So I'll never forget. Completely different scenario, except I'm in the psychiatric ward. But I'm turn a frown around guy. Screwy Drewy. And in front of all these people. No, I don't think that's true. It was a nursing home. No, it's flashing too clearly to me. No, I was in a nursing home. And it was around Halloween. So, the crowd was about 60. It was a longer, it's much more I like. I hated that. But anyway, it was too many. Maybe it was 30. I even hated that. I always set up my shows in nursing. I demanded chairs in a circle, because people are going through so much shit. Like, people ask me sincerely, like, how do you deal with hecklers and whatever? I fed off of them. I was so prepared. I'm doing shows and people are really fucking suffering. I need to keep doing the show, but I need to include their pain so it was just always a show in chaos, and I live in chaos, so I guess I was very at home. But anyway, what am I saying? But this wasn't in the round. So maybe there were 40. Just too many people. It was a wonderful show. And I don't know. It was around Halloween. I just can see myself turning around. And I don't know what bit I was doing. I was doing some bit. My bits had to have the fortune cookie of either bringing comfort to those that were so uncomfortable, with such validation to that uncomfortableness, and maybe that's where that came from. So I always had an Aesop's fable. I had to have a moral to the story, a daily bread takeaway for the day, action point. I always included, no matter who my crowd was, even to be rich and famous, the next step. What's the next step? But anyway, it was a variety of all that. But my great-grandfather was a rabbi, so I don't know all that. But anyhow, more important. I turned around to the crowd, and I said, you know, Halloween's coming up, right? And everybody says, whatever. And I said, just remember, the best candy to give out on Halloween and any day of the week are encouragements. Encouragements. Why? They turn into lifesavers. Now, the crowd loved it. They started applauding it. But the words came out of my mouth. I like so many of the things in my shows, but that was like, whoa, where did that come from? That's all these people wanted, was encouragement. Life reminded them of all their sins. Anyway, encouragements, because they turn into lifesavers. Ha ha! Zap-a-doo-doo.